beautiful people, it's your girl T, and I'm back to do part 3 of coloring in Animorphia by Kerby Rosanes using Prang color pencils. So we are working on the toucan, and so what we're going to do today is we're going to complete the entire bird. Okay, down here you're going to see, I just wanted to try out something for the background using one color pencil, and I like how it looks, so I'm going to go with this method for the background, but I will do the background on the next video, the last video. All right, so we're going to work on the toucan, and I don't know about you guys, the only thing I know about toucans is that their beak is colorful and that they're black. So I wanted to use a reference in order to make sure I got the colorings right, the coloring right for, the color palette correct for the toucan. I kind of want it to be more, I want it to look like the bird. So, of course, I Googled toucan, and we will be using this image as a reference. And the good thing about this is I was able to actually find a picture that is quite similar to the way the bird is turned, except for the body. So, well, he's backwards. This one he's facing forward, but their beak is the same color on both sides, I'm assuming. So we're going to use this as a reference. Okay, so, and this will be a chat video because I have some things to talk about this time. And I'm feeling up to talking. So we're going to start with all of the black, because there's so much black. I kind of want to get that out of the way. So we'll be using the Prang in black, the black Prang color pencil. And I'm going to start with the top, the face here, and the head. And in my picture, as you can see here, this is going to be white, and this will be orange. A little bit of this, I might keep white, we will see. And then everything else is black. Okay, so unfortunately, sorry, you're going to see a lot of black up. I might speed through some of that, just to make it go a little faster, because I think it's going to be a long one. All right, y'all. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a while, so, I really haven't, the only videos I've done actually were like a flip through videos, and because we had a family medical emergency, we had to go out of town. One of my husband's parents became ill and was in the hospital, over the holiday. Actually, just really, is starting to recover. So we had to go out of town for that on the holiday, like at 4 o'clock in the evening. And yeah, that wasn't fun, because when you get phone calls like that about family, you start thinking the worst, especially when you get those kind of phone calls. So anyhow, we got up there and we got to see his father and make sure, kind of knew what was going on. And good news is he's doing much better. So, and then we really couldn't stay for the whole week that he was in the hospital. We had to get back because on Thursday afternoon, or actually Thursday midday, I had a flight to California to go visit my pops. He was having his retirement celebration, so I went to California to help my mother with setting up and prepping for the actual party. Okay guys, I'm using black here, and so this is gonna be pretty fast. This is my first layer. I'm gonna go back with like darker layers, okay? But yeah, so I was in California, and I just got back actually last night or yesterday, which if you're this video probably won't go up until, what's today? It won't go up until Wednesday. But yeah, so I got back on Tuesday. I'm sorry, Monday. And yeah, but Thursday I was a little nervous about leaving. I wasn't taking anyone, I was just going by myself. And that was because Hurricane Dorian was coming to North Carolina. And we're about maybe 2 hours from the coast. We're considered central, I guess, / coast. We're not the coast, but we're considered central North Carolina. But we're not that far from the coast. So usually when a hurricane comes, my area does feel the impact of it in some kind of way. And usually that's with a lot of rain and wind, tornado warnings, and we get tornadoes here when that type of weather comes. So on Thursday when I was leaving, we were driving to the airport, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that cloud. I took a picture of the cloud, and I was like, oh no. I'm so nervous. I was so nervous, you guys, to fly in this, that kind of weather. I've been flying to California and back since I've been 18, and it never gets easy. I've had some really horrible flights, and this one was one of those horrible flights all the way to my destination, really. So, we're taking off, and I'm like, oh God, please remember I'm on this plane. Remember I'm on this plane. Please don't fall out of the sky. Please don't have a lot of turbulence and stuff. So, but it was really bad, but we made it. So I kind of, and I assumed, I was like, okay, they're probably not going to let any more flights leave after that. That was really bad. The takeoff was not smooth at all. And the winds were supposed to be rolling in at about 12. And my flight was at about like 10:55, 11 was our takeoff. So, yeah. So, and I always say when I go home to my parents, I'm like, I'm not flying here anymore. Whenever I have a bad flight, I'm like, I'm not flying here anymore. You guys can come and see me. I'm done. But you know what? I ended back on the plane. Something about going home, it feels good to go home. I was really glad to help my dad celebrate his retirement. And it's a great accomplishment. And I can't wait till I'm able to do that. So we had a nice big celebration for him on that Saturday. And I got to see people I hadn't seen in, like 20 plus years. And I got to see my grandfather, who is in his mid to late 80s. That was really, really nice. You guys, you see all this? Don't worry, I'm going to fix that all. This is just the first layer. Okay? All right, let me scoop this down so we can get down here. Yeah, so, I got to see my grandfather and uncle, cousins. Got to meet my dad's coworkers. It was really nice. So when I got to California, of course, I knew my mother had work for me, because usually when I come home for a celebration, she's doing the decorations. That's something she likes to do. And I think she's doing that as a side business. You know, doing the party decorations and stuff. So I had to paint. The colors were red, white, and blue. Red, white, and like a navy blue. So I had to paint these. She got these succulents, like faux succulents, in a pot. And I had to paint a bunch of them with navy blue paint. And so I did that. I had to go out and like get gift cards for the party, for the giveaways, and help set up the party, you know, doing the centerpieces and the overlays on the tables, the chair covers, the chair bands, the chair ribbons. I mean, it was a lot of work. And then, of course, she asked me to help. Well, she asked me to MC. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Believe it or not, guys, it's easy for me to talk to you guys because you're not looking at my face, or I know my face is not on the screen. But, you know, whenever I have to talk in front of a group, I kind of get nervous. Not so much with like my coworkers or my team, but like people I haven't seen in a long time, or, you know, a church event or something like that. Do not ask me to get up. My knees start wobbling, and, you know, my hands are shaking. You know, just that nervousness. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, you know, just I'm shy in a way. So now for the toucan's tail, I don't know if these are multicolored because I didn't look at any other pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and color them all black, first layer, because I'm just going to make that assumption because I don't want to use any other reference pictures. Okay, so we're going to just, and this is going to be quick because I'm trying to make this video not be too long. Quick, but hopefully still looks good when we're done. But anyways, yeah, so, you know, and then I used to sing a lot in my younger days, and now my son is the one who likes to sing a lot in our family. And so this is the oldest one. And so my mom asked him to sing at the retirement party for my father, which was a surprise, and he loved it. So it was just a really great time, and just seeing all these people I grew up seeing, you know, all the time. It was just, it's like took me back to when I used to live there, and, you know, all the memories and the close friendships that my parents had with with the adults in my life. Well, the adults when I was a kid, they were adults, but just seeing all those people and them being able to see me and how far I've come, and, you know, that I'm a woman now, not a little girl. It was just great. I really, really enjoyed myself. So all right, so now we have one more black part, which is the beak here, this tip of the beak. So I'm going to color that in. And then I'm going to go back over the black and start doing some shading. Yeah, so that was awesome. A really awesome time. Really awesome time. I always think like, why did you why'd you move from California? But, you know, can't dwell on that too much. You know, I'm here in North Carolina, and this is gonna be my home until it's not my home anymore. So okay, so now we're gonna work on the shading. And so I'm going to go a little dark up here. I'm gonna try. Now, this is not black, so hopefully he doesn't look gray when we're done. But, you know, I'm using Prang colored pencils, so I'm going to try to do the best I can. Yeah, so. But yeah, so that was, I had a lot going on and I just couldn't fit in doing this color along for this book. And I kind of wanted to do, you know, have one recorded so that I could just upload it when I was in California, you know, just relaxing. But, you know, with my in-law getting sick, it just, I was not able to do a recording because we ended up spending the night we had to drive out of town, out of state, and we ended up spending the night and just coming back on Tuesday, and then I had to start getting ready to leave. So, you know, preparing for my trip. So I want to apologize for the delay, because I know people like to see these come to completion and hopefully not take too long, you know, to do that. So, all right, so we're working on this guy. So while I was in California, I got to go to the store that I've been hearing about. Well, I heard about from my good friend Lavelia from Lavelia's Coloring, called Daiso, and she actually sent me a care package with some items. I did. I'll link that in on the video. Of Happy Mail. She sent me Happy Mail from there, and she was like telling me that, you know, they're in California where I'm going. So I was like, what? So of course I had to make my way there, because I was just really I'm really into Japanese stationery right now. I mean, I don't have tons of it, but I think it's the cutest stuff. And it's really nice. Japanese make really nice paper, pen products and stuff like that, and markers and stuff, color pencils, all of that. So, of course, I had to go. And it was funny because you know, my brother took me, because, you know, I didn't rent a car, but, you know, he takes me around when I'm there. And he's like, what kind of place is it? I'm like, well, just take me there. Jeez, just take me. You don't have to worry about that. Are you going to come in or not? And he's like, nah, I'm not coming in. So he takes me to the store. He sits out in the car, and I go in, and I'm just like, oh, you know, like that big light shines on you. You're like, I want everything in the store. I want one of everything. And you know you cannot have one of everything in the store. Unless you're rich and you're just like, yes, give me one of everything. I'll wait while you pack it up. Well, you know, it's not like that. So, you know, I'm in there. I'm like, my little hand basket's getting so full. And I was like, I can't, T. You can't get all this stuff, T. You can't get all this stuff. You don't even have that much room in your suitcase and your bag to take all this stuff. So I had to like put stuff back, but basically, Daiso is like, it's like a dollar store, but a Japanese dollar store, but it's like $1.50 per item. But from what I understand, some stores might be differently priced per item, depending on where you are. But for the most part, the store I was at, the items were $1.50 per item, unless otherwise marked. And so I picked up some cool stuff, and I'm gonna do a haul video, my first trip to Daiso. I do know they have one in New York or New Jersey, I believe. And I'm trying to get up there to go so I can see what kind of stuff they have, to see if they have anything different than what I've seen. All right, so just in this section, guys, just to explain, he's got some shading here, and all I'm doing is taking this pencil over that section, you know, kind of dark, pressing hard, so it's going to be some burnishing on that. And I'm going into the you know, where the feathers meet and kind of adding a little more right in those sections. Okay, and then I'm just blending it out so there's no such, you know, there's not such dark lines, or harsh lines rather. Yeah, so Daiso, guys, I was very happy. You know, I had to behave in the store. You know, just had to behave. But anyways, I was in the store and my brother like sends me this message like, "Are you still in there?" Because he decided to sit out in the car. I totally ignored him because he's basically telling me to hurry up. And then I'm going along in the store, and then I finally get a phone call while I was in the checkout line from my brother. And I know he's like, "What are you doing?" I know he's going to say like, "What are you doing?" So I ignored the phone call. So by the time I get out of the store, here he comes like walking up. I'm like, he's like, "Why didn't you answer your phone?" Because I'm shopping. He's like, "Man, I thought you were gone out of the store already." I was like, "No, I'm in there." Man, you're in there a long time. I mean, I don't know how long I was in there. I probably was in there a good 30 minutes or so. But if he wasn't with me and I didn't have to worry about like somebody waiting for me in the car, I probably would have been in there a good hour or so, because there was so much stuff. I mean, from stationery to household items. I mean, there's so much food products, and I mean, it was some of everything. So, you know, I came on out and I was like, "Gosh, I can't even shop with, you know." I don't know if it's me, but sometimes I feel like men, or some men, I should say, they don't like to shop. You know, I know men who like to shop, but some men just don't like to. And they don't even want to wait in the car. So I'm like, gosh, you know, but it was actually pretty fun. I really like the store. So I'm going to be doing, again, like I stated earlier, I'm going to go ahead and do a haul video this week on that, so you guys can see what goodies I got. Didn't get a lot of stuff, but I got enough. So we'll do that. So again, I'm just, you know, shading in these dark lines here and trying to blend it out a little bit, giving some shading under the wing area where the wings overlap or they meet. Now, again, this black is not the best black, but typically when I decide to use a pencil, you probably will never see me mix using different pencils in a picture. It's just my preference. If I choose to use a pencil, then I'm going to use that brand, meaning that pencil brand. I'm going to use that pencil brand for the entire page. For me, it's just a challenge, and also too, I don't like having so many of my you know, my pencils out. So it's just a thing. I do know that a lot of people like to use more than one, you know, one brand of pencil for their pictures. That's just not something I do. So at least right now I don't. I like to see what I can do with the pencils that are available in the set that I've chosen to use. It can be a challenge sometimes because, for instance, this set of Prang only comes with three blue pencils. And so, you know, if you're looking for more than a different, you know, if you're looking for a different blue, or you're like, I'm gonna use all these blues, or I wish I had more blue, then it could be a challenge for you. You might end up using another brand of pencil to supplement or to, you know, add the blue that you're looking to add. Well, for me, I would just use what I had. And I don't know, that's just me. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and speed through because I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. So you guys enjoy the music. so we're done with all of the black. So I'm going to go ahead and start on his eye and the beak. Okay, so we're already in over about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. We'll get the bird done. So the next color I'm going to use, I'm going to work on his eye. I'm going to be using blue, just plain blue, for his eye. So they have this whole area blue in the picture. So, but I'm not sure how that's going to look. So I'm going to start with this, just this area. Yeah, so you guys, doing all that black, I had to press hard in some areas. So my hand is hurting right now. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I want to get this done. I'm going to keep, I'm not going to do that area in blue. Not just yet. I'm going to see how it looks. So that is the only blue that is in the picture. Next, I'm going to start with actually yellow-orange. Sorry. Yellow-orange. And I'm going to work on his eye here. So you guys can see that better. So I'm just going to start with the light layer. I'm not using too many colors. Again, like, you know, I said at the beginning of this, I'm going to try to keep this simple. So I'm just starting with this light layer of orange around his eye. All right, then I'll go in and darken the outer edges here a little bit. Yeah, so my hand is hurting because I had to press hard. I don't want to press hard around this area, so we'll see what we can do without me pressing hard. The black is just so, it's not a you know, a strong or vivid black. It's kind of a pale black, almost gray. So, I mean, I'm not gonna do anything else to the bird, to his feathers or anything, so it's just gonna be a pale black bird. So okay, now I'm gonna go around this area and just go a little darker around this area. Around the whole eye here. I'm just gonna add a little bit here. So yeah, he's coming along okay. I like it. You know, when you start using different pencils, you find out, hey, you know, some pencils work great, some pencils don't. I think this pencil is doing good for its quality on this paper. So, you know, I'm not gonna get too crazy with critiquing them. They're budget-friendly pencils. Okay, so next I'm going to work on the beak here. And so we're going to start with yellow. I'm going to start with just plain yellow. And I'm going to do this whole beak. According to my image, we're not going to take this, we're going to actually take the yellow close to, but not to the very tip. Not to the very top of that. Just like that. Again, we're using yellow. I'm working lightly because I'm going to have to actually do some layering on this. So today, guys, we had to volunteer for the food bank of North Carolina. Well, we didn't have to. It was a team building type of outing for my department or the organization I work for. So we did that today, and they had us, we actually had to go into the cooler, and they were bringing things out of the deep freezer that they have, this huge like warehouse type freezer. You guys, the freezer was like -1. And so you can imagine how cool the cooler was where we were working. It was pretty chill. But yeah, so we got to work in the cooler, and they had us loading, putting chicken, frozen chicken in boxes. And guys, I thought chicken was never going to end. They had us using putting whole chicken fryers, chicken pieces. I mean, it was so many different cuts of chicken. It was crazy. It was Purdue and Purdue chicken, Heartland, and I forget what other brand, but wow, I was like, oh my gosh, how much chicken? It's tons of chicken. So at the end they tell you like how much we did. So basically we boxed 27,600 some odd pounds of chicken, which would feed like 25,000, which would provide 25,000 meals. So it was fun. I mean, we worked as a team. We had to figure it out. Of course, I'm a type of person, I don't like when things are unorganized. So, I had to kind of, calm down a little bit because, when you're given instructions on how to do something, you kind of want to do it the way they're telling you, because, if you've never worked there before or in that area, you want to kind of follow what they do because they have a method. There's a reason why they're telling you to do something a certain way. So some of us weren't listening very well. And he was like fussing at us a little bit, the guy in charge, and like, hey, no, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. So I was just like, oh, come on, guys. Because I don't like getting fussed at. I don't know about you guys, but I do not like getting fussed at because of not following directions. So I was like, oh my gosh. But it was still fun. I'm so glad that I went and was able to, help my community with my coworkers. It was really nice. And then at the end, we got to take a picture together with the NC Food Bank, and then we went for appetizers and stuff like that at a place called, I think it was Buffalo Brothers or something like that. So it was really nice. And they said that they have where children can come and do that on every second and fourth Saturday. So I'm thinking about letting Christian do that. And I actually talked to him about it, and he said he wanted to do it. So we're going to have to do that as a family. I think that teaching them to give or to share your time to help someone is a good thing to do. Okay, so the next color I'm going to work with is red orange. And that's here in the beak. So I'm gonna actually be extending this down here. Try to get my colors as close as possible to the image. So maybe adding some yellow here, so I'm going to go a little light. It looks like we have more orangish here, so I'll go light here as well. And then this kind of extends up here. So yes, I don't know if any of you have volunteered this year. What have you done? What kind of volunteer work have you done? Can you recommend anything that would be good for kids too? Okay, this pencil's getting a little streaky. I'm not sure what that's all about, so I'm gonna have to really blend that in a little later. Yeah, I'm looking for things, that we can do as a family, but also include Christian, because he's a part of the family, and he's only, he's only 6, so I don't want to exclude him. So that was cool to find out that they allow children to do that. So cool. All right, so next I'm going to go with red, and that's down here. It's actually, down here. Guys, I'm trying to get my toucan to look as much like the picture as I can. I hope it does. If not, this will be my version of, or my interpretation of what I see, which is fine. I'm not one of those people who, if it doesn't turn out like I want it, then you might get a little frustrated. But if it's as close to what I can get it, and I know it's as close as I can do it, then I'll be satisfied with it. So I'm gonna keep on trucking here. The bottom of the bottom beak is like a really red orange. So my red orange is actually not red orange enough. So I'm gonna actually go over this with orange. And the red is not as dark as I'd like it to be, but it's gonna have to work, just like my black. But with budget-friendly pencils, you can only ask it to do so much. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to orange, yellow-orange. And I'm gonna add that here. my version of the toucan that I see. And it looks like over here it gets like a yellowish, so then I'll grab the yellow, actually harvest yellow. I'll go back to harvest yellow and add that here. Let me get some of that in here. All right. I'm going to come back up to this area here, and I'm going to go back with, I'm going to go with the harvest yellow again. I'm going to press a little harder because around here, it's more of a tangerine color, like a tangerine yellow. And I'm having a hard time finding this, or tangerine orange. So I'm having a hard time finding that orange in my, it's not in my set. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, sorry if the camera's shaking. I'm gonna press a little harder there. I'm gonna add a little more. I'm gonna add that down here as well. And then I'm gonna go back over that with the red orange, see what that does. I hope I don't mess up my little toucan, but you know, I gotta try to figure that out. And I'm blowing because there's wax buildup on this. Try not to press too hard down here, but it may not be working. All right, next I'm gonna go back to my red orange. Red orange, and I'm going to focus on this area a little more with that. Starting to gum up a little. Yeah, it's always good to have a reference photo. You know, if you're not familiar with the way it should look, you know, you can get a reference photo and try to make it happen. So again, I'm gonna just bring some more red orange up here. Reference photos help you, you know, figure out your color palette. In most cases, sometimes they don't help you at all. If you want to do something, you know, do something your own way. And this is yellow orange. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, try to blend some of this in here. I don't want to be too dark. Now, if you're using a pencil that accepts a lot of layers, you know, oh, look at that. Sometimes your finger can help you out. You know, if you're not using a paper that accepts a lot of layers, you might come into some issues like I am right now. It's not accepting a lot of layers here. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to go over that with yellow. All right, so let me just go back in here. See if I can blend that a little bit more. All right, so now I'm going to go back to just plain yellow and just go back in over this. Being careful not to get the top because the top area is going to be a different color. I don't know about you guys, but I love birds. I think they're gorgeous coloring. You know, you can look those birds up and try to make, you know, try to color your bird exactly like the one in your reference. One more little section here. Then I'm going to stand up and look at my picture and see how I like it. Okay, so this looks really messy here, but because I can't layer anymore, it's just gumming up. I'm not going to mess with it too much more. What I might do is add a little, I might go back in with red and just press a little harder where I already have that red to see if I can make it, you know, stand out a little more. So I'm going to go back to red. Okay. And down here, I'm going to press hard. See if that works. Because it almost looks kind of like pink in the picture. I do not want it to look pink. I'm not doing a pink toucan this time. Maybe that one will be pink on the other side when I decide to do it. Okay, my reference photo actually has this really dark, so I'm going to try going over it again with red. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's not going to take anymore, so I think we're about done with that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more up here. Red. I didn't add any red here yet. That's probably the issue. Just at the bottom. That might be a lot better. We'll see. Okay, I think I like that much better. All right, so at the very top of his beak, it's like a red and blue, almost to a purple. So I'm going to try to achieve that. Wish me luck. All right, so this will be the last part of the bird that we are doing. And then the next video, we will go to doing the background and all the little characters that are hidden within this. So this part of the picture is very, in the image, is very, I don't know if to say rigid or sharp. This, you know, trying to make this line as straight as I can. All right, and then they have a blue that kind of is in there. It makes it look almost purple. So I'm gonna try it Oh, please don't mess up. Please, please. Okay, so I'm going to go back with my red. Go back with red. And then go back in here. I don't want it to look pink. All right. Now this area is going to stay white, but you know, if you want, you can, like if I could take a little, you could go with gray or blues or whatever, just to give it a little bit of color, but I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, I'm not going to bother that. So we are done with the toucan. Yay! This is all I'm doing to the toucan. The paper is not very nice to me today. So I think that he turned out okay. I mean, there's some areas I see where I could do a little bit more blending. You know, I can hear just to even it out a little bit more. But yeah, so we are pretty much done with the toucan. And when we come back on the finale video, we will be working on the background, which I will be doing like this, using sky blue. And we'll be working on all the little characters and the flowers here. Okay, so until next time, y'all, take care.